We are here today to grand open the expansion of Howell Community Park. It is a park that was a golf course. The National Golf Foundation came in and told us that Howell was the lowest performing 18-hole golf course in the country. And we were required to do something to make sure we were using the taxpayer dollar wisely. And so we decided to create this expanded space and open up this park for many, many people to use and not a few. And that's really our biggest part of our mission, is to serve as many people in this parish as well as visitors as often and as long as we can. Welcome. I'm Carolyn McKnight, the BREC superintendent, and it's a pleasure to be here today at BREC's Community Park, Howell Community Park. And we have several officials here today, and I'd like to recognize a few. We're honored to have State Representative Denise Marcel, and at this time I would like to ask her to come and talk to you a little bit about some of the things that she desired and helped us to do.
Good afternoon. It's a beautiful day today, and I'm honored to stand here on the new facility of this park. I think it's an amazing park. I've worked with BREC over the years before I ever was elected to anything, and so that's how this relationship was built. I want to say that I want to see this community utilize this park to its fullest, and that we have educational opportunities here for the kids in the afternoon. The group standing behind us is from Gus Young. These are some of my babies from the Gus Young area. Y'all give it up for the 360 program. These are the types of programs that we should be spreading throughout this parish. And these are the types of things that the amenities that's here that we should be promoting. Now, I was a big proponent of the golf course here, and I'm still a proponent of getting our children to learn how to play golf. However, I'm excited today about the direction in which the park has taken. So thank you, enjoy the park, and take care of our BREC Park. Thank you, Ms. McKnight.
Thank you.
Thanks, State Representative Marcel. We appreciate you and all your support for BREC. Today, we also have our commissioner, Mr. Reverend Shelton Dixon. He's here, and you'll hear from him shortly, as well as Mr. William Bates. He's with the Living Faith Church, and he is really responsible for helping to sell this idea forward. He and Minister Johnson, thank you all for your support and for helping to make this vision become a reality. Today we are here to celebrate the grand opening for the first phase renovations of what we used to call Howell Golf Course. It was an 18-hole golf course, and it was really something that we had to take care of, and we knew that it was one of the lowest performing golf courses based on the National Golf Foundation study. So, but before we go into the park, I'd like to first recognize the Capital Improvement Department for working tirelessly to help make this park event happen today. They took on this special project because we needed to know, we had to expand some of the offerings that we had here, and we wanted to make sure that we were able to do a lot of different things that you see in the park did not happen as a result of the initial plan. So they helped us to finish out a lot of areas in the park, and also the park operations guys who came in and helped us to clean the park up and get ready for this day. Park Ops and CIP, raise your hand, wave at the crowd. Let's give them a great big round of applause. They are incredible. These guys make it happen for BREC. So we're excited. As I mentioned earlier, the National Golf Foundation study told us that we had too many golf courses in East Baton Rouge Parish. BREC had too many golf courses, and we needed to look at being more efficient. And so we started looking at where we had the rounds and the revenues to support sustaining the golf courses and where we needed to make adjustments. We knew we were serving 20,000 people at some places, and we served 300 people at other places. And when I looked at the park on the other side of this area, on a Saturday or Sunday, on a nice day, you might have 200 or 300 people packed in that little space over there, and you might have 7 or 8 golfers on the golf course. And I thought, there's something wrong with that number, and we need to do something to give the people in this community a lot more for what they would like to see. So we conducted a survey, and we asked the people, what would you like to see here? And they told us a fishing lake with piers. They told us they'd like more areas for picnicking, pavilions. They wanted walking and jogging trails. They wanted an expanding playground, because we have one on the other side of the park and we put one over here. They also told us that they wanted more open and green space to recreate, to play, to picnic, to get outdoors. And so we heard comments like that, and we tried to make sure that we fulfill the wishes of the community as a result of the survey. This 73-acre site has been expanded, and we're excited. Now it's 114 acres of green space accessible to all. And so we're excited about that. Y'all should be excited about that. And if you're not, that's okay too. We're gonna take care of this community. And also for the parents who shared concerns about kids falling in the lake, we have a swimming pool. It's a learn to swim site right over here on this park. So we encourage you to sign the kids up to learn to swim this summer. And we know that we will take care of your children during the summer camps. We'll make sure that what they need, they'll be able to learn to swim. So to keep from delaying my portion of the program anymore, I would like to ask Reverend Dixon to please come forward and share a few remarks.
Thank you so much, Superintendent McKnight, certainly to our state representative who's here with us as well, Senator Denise Marcells, and let's remember her in prayer. Amen. It could be speaking prophetic, but let's remember her in prayer as she continues to deal with some health issues, but we're believing God for her healing and for her recovery. And to all of you who are here this afternoon, let me thank you for coming to celebrate the grand opening of this grand community park. The new expanded Howe Park was designed to create spaces to inspire people all around the area to get outside, engage in healthy activity, and enjoy all of this natural beauty. The park features 2 new lighted outdoor basketball courts, a 3.5-acre fishing lake, a one-of-a-kind adventure playground featuring a children's zip line, a large 1.5-acre earthen amphitheater, a youth golf training area preserved from the previous course for the first tee program to each golf for each child to learn how to play golf. In fact, they are here tonight, and you can sign up and register for a 6 weeks program, which will start on June the 5th. 4 new pavilions for picnics and parties, a 1/4 mile exercise track near the playground so that adults can exercise while their children are at play. I'll say it again, so that adults can get out and exercise while their children are at play. That's including me. 2.5 miles of paved trails, 1.5 miles of which are new for jogging and walking, and a lighted multi-use athletic field, which will be programmed by Baton Rouge Soccer Association and can also be used for lacrosse, football, and other gridiron sports. I felt a couple of little sprinkles fallen, and I probably think you have as well, so I'm going to cut this real short. The Walls Project, which started in 2012 as a grassroots project, is now a regional public art campaign for educating students and adults to create a new skilled workforce, rejuvenating public and private structures, improving local businesses' viability and public safety, and bringing diverse people together to celebrate, inspire, and be inspired. You may have seen other projects in BREC's Baker Recreation Center, North Sherwood Forest Recreation Center, Convention Street Park, Gus Young Park, Gayosa Street, and the Bluebonnet Swamp, among others. We would like to thank all of those who were part of the project for giving BREC such a unique, a one-of-a-kind, memorable piece of art to continue the revitalization of this area of North Baton Rouge. Again, let me thank you for coming, and let's take care of this Howell Community Park. Back into the hands now of Superintendent Mike Knight.
Thank you, Commissioner Dixon, and thank you to the Walls Project. We really appreciate the partnership we have with you. And at this time, I would like to recognize some of the people who helped to make this park happen. Mr. Reed Richard, wave your hand at the group. He's responsible for all of this. And his staff, he worked with Duplantis Design Group. Wave your hand, Duplantis. Thank you for what you did. The construction phase managed by the planning engineering team, Brett Wallace and Will Lowe. Wave your hand at the group, guys. They're pretty shy, but they do good work. Charles Carter Construction Company, are you with us today? Thank you. Thank you so much. Marrero, Covellum, and Associates, and the Global Synthetics Environmental, are you here? Thank you for what you did. And the BRECs, I mentioned the capital improvement team and the park operations team. At this time, I would like to ask Amanda Tackus to come forward and share a little bit with you about what we're doing in our conservation efforts. It's okay to give her a hand.
Thank you, Ms. McKnight. I appreciate being able to highlight some of the native habitat projects that we have begun at this park. During the initial planning, the conservation team was asked to consult on different ways that BREC could reduce maintenance costs while adding value to the park. On our initial walkthrough, we noted all the great open green space, but we also saw effects of the flood, issues with erosion, and a lot of grass to mow, and that was one of the main issues. So we decided to begin a project which would convert roughly 5 acres of the park to native wildflowers and grasses and add crucial habitat to native pollinators and birds. These areas, which we are calling grow zones, only need to be mowed once or twice a year, which will not only reduce the time it takes for staff to maintain the park, but will also save taxpayer dollars on fuel costs and reduce BREC's carbon footprint, which will help us to strive towards a more sustainable future. So to date, we have seeded over 1 acre of land with native wildflowers and grasses for the first phase of the project. And with the help of 52 fourth graders from Greenbrier Elementary School, we have planted a native plant pollinator garden over on the other side of the park. Do we have anyone from Greenbrier Elementary School here today? Anybody? I know I have some of the Green Force volunteers. If you're a Green Force volunteer, please wave your hand if you helped out with the planting. We couldn't have done it without their help as well. Through the planning of this project, we also consulted with LDWF, the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. So if they are there, we also really appreciate their help and time that it took to help consult on getting these areas seeded. So these areas will provide shelter and food for a variety of native species, including butterflies, birds, and native bees that we need to help pollinate crops and keep our ecosystems healthy. Additionally, we use native plants. This area will be able to abate more floodwaters, aiding in stormwater management, and it will reduce erosion due to the deeper and more stable roots of the flowers and grasses that we used. So all in all, these areas will provide a colorful backdrop to this park once they've grown, and we hope that the local residents enjoy them. Give it back to Ms. McKnight.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you to all the people who helped to inspire conservation efforts here at this park. We know that this park served as a real flood retention area for the community, and we want to do a little bit more, and we hope to be able to help with the Hurricane Canal in the future. This is just phase one. We have several other phases that we plan to bring to this park, including working with the local nonprofit group to rebuild the recreation center. We have a number of things we're still planning to do. And yes, we will provide first tee programming here. We have a little bit more work to do on the tee area over by the 12th hole, what used to be the 12th hole. So we have a number of things that we're doing. And what I'd like to tell you, I heard comments about parks, this park being a safe place. We've met with the police department, and thank you for being here, Lieutenant Newman. Thank you for all that you all do year in and year out to help us keep the park safe. We have security lighting, we have cameras. We are trying to provide the most positive, safe space for this community. You are the eyes and ears of this community. And so when something happens, we hope that you will help us keep this as the safest park in Baton Rouge. And you can make a difference by making a phone call, talking to us, talking to our park rangers, talking to our police department. And so we want to make sure that this is a wholesome, welcoming, safe space. And we look to you as the eyes and ears for us. This is your park. So we appreciate you all for being here. We know that we are providing us a real safe space, and so we're excited about it. We have areas for kids to play, and it's just a wonderful opportunity.
What led us to making this a community park was because of the fact that the numbers of Howell Park golf, the numbers were dropping, and basically the golf course was no longer able to sustain itself, and BREC was having to foot that bill. So speaking to the community and listening to the community, we thought it would be best if we would change it from being strictly a golf course to now being a community park, whereby it could service everybody in the community and even those outside of the community.
So what do you think the most serviceable part about the park would be, in your opinion?
I don't think there's a most serviceable part about the park. I think everything in the park can be utilized by the community. It has something to offer to all ages, senior citizens, babies, children who are just beginning to experience and enjoy life, and even for those young families who are now having families. This is a community park for all.
This is a family park from 0 to 99, or if you can move after 99. This is a park for everyone. We have play spaces for children. We have spaces for picnicking and kayaking and canoeing. We have spaces for playing basketball, for tennis. We're doing a number of things here at this park for people. All kinds of recreation offerings are here at this park.
I just want us to keep our park clean, safe, and positive.
I'm just so happy to be able to tell the people of the 70805, we are taking care of you. And we're excited that you want to be here with us.